Welcome to a very special Bros Talking Soccer interview. I am here with Matthew Ridout, aka Soccernoob on Twitter and or Slack, and he is our June Quick Kick Picks champion from our Quick Kick Picks MLS game. Matt, aka Soccernoob, how you guys doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit guilty because, as I'm sure you will probably have discussed at some point on the podcast proper, I was not, in the strictest sense, the winner of Quick Kick Picks. Of course, that honor fell to one of your brothers, Christian, passed me on the very last day. He's a prideful fellow and really wanted to be interviewed by you or me, probably you, but we're changing the contest rules, and as the top non-bro finisher, here I am, or here we are, as I am Soccernoob. This is my 7-year-old who has decided to go by Person Noob. I am new to soccer. She is new to being alive and a human being.
Awesome. Hi, it's nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us. I got to say, so those just listening to the podcast, we also have it live on YouTube. And Matthew, you've gone all out with your attire. You're dressed up. You're looking very fancy, and I love it. That fits in.
Well, yeah, I mean, for Quick Pick Kicks, you're usually dressed up. So I thought I'd throw in a bit of a suit that I could still get into, look a little. When I appear, listeners who might be newer or just missed it, I appeared on the show about a year ago, but completely carpet bombed the episode, but it was lots of fun. Thanks so much. Here to do it again. And last time when I was here, I did the theme song. I know your wife liked it for Soccernoob, which doesn't actually appear on soccernoob.com, but Abby has been practicing and is ready to do the soccernoob.com theme song. Are you ready, Abby? Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Soccer, rock America. You need soccer nets and soccer balls. Yeah,
my daddy's weird. And my daddy's weird. Yeah, Soccernoob, rockin' America. That can be edited out. This went much better earlier.
Well, that was very nice. We're always happy to get her involved. And hey, you won the Quick Kick Picks, so I definitely wanted to give you the opportunity to sort of control this segment.
All my leeway with that. So
yeah. Well, that was interesting. So for those who maybe don't know you a little bit, can you tell us, a little bit about yourself? You're kind of new to following the sport of soccer, and that's kind of where your name comes from and your character. So
yeah, certainly. The handle is no joke. American Soccer Noob, and my website, soccernoob.com. The website grew out of a sort of a gentleman's bet and a joke with a friend of mine who he and I gamble on sports for pancakes. We get together every few years, and whoever gets the most games right for various sports wins. I kept trying to throw him soccer games. He got sick of it, said, I'll bet if I procure you a domain that you won't write every single day for a year. So I did, kind of learning all about tournaments and cups and the structures of soccer in the world, if not the on-field play necessarily, trying to acclimate myself. The site format has changed after a year and a half, and for the last year, I have been billing myself as the sole international coverage journo for the Isle of Sodor Premier League. So I have what some believe is a fake league. It is very real in my heart, a Premier League and even a Championship League that is now the entirety of the website with stats and standings. And a lot of, and the most fun part, satirized articles when things happen in the real world that catch my attention. I then that ends up strangely getting reflected on Sodor. I think my favorite from last season, and one that had caught your attention briefly, there was something. It's always Italy. There was something in Italy where there was a Serie A team that got held up before they could travel because a bunch of dairy farmers in Italy had surrounded their compound, and they wanted to know that the team was in solidarity with them and was not going to let them go anywhere unless they were willing to kick over a jug of milk and proclaim that they were with the farmers when it came to fixed milk prices. I don't know if any of your people will remember this, but it was a real news story. And so
Yeah, no, I remember talking about it in one way or another. And so yeah, you have probably one of the most unique sites out there. I think it confuses a lot of people because they think it's real, and then they're very confused about things. And then also you have one of the most unique stories coming into soccer fandom. So it's really
I
cool kind
figured
of
with
hearing
the
that.
site, if I was going to do something, I'm like, why not do something that's not being done? Of course, the flip side of that coin is there may be a reason that it wasn't being done, but I'm still out there doing it. So that's where we are.
Yeah, and that's fascinating. I'm looking forward to, continuing to read all of that. Switching gears just ever so slightly, this is the Quick Kick Picks, champion sort of interview, and so I wanted to get your thoughts on just what's your strategy. How did you become the champion in June?
Well, to start off, there weren't a lot of people who were picking every single match, trying to go for go for the points for getting some part of the score or the entire score, or at least the result correctly. So my motto, as I've been putting on Twitter when I respond to Quick Pick Hicks, is mediocre picks, but volume shooting equals win. So remember, folks, you too could be appearing on Bros Talking Soccer. All you have to do is beat my goofy ass, and you should be able to do it. I think I'm in 5th or 6th place for July, so this should be the only time you really have to endure this.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think I might be right ahead of you in July. I am not doing well. MLS is such a funky league where it's so tough to predict score. You never know what's going to happen, and part of it's luck of the draw. I know Todd right now from the Free Kick Pod is absolutely killing it, and Christian's kind of right behind him, and then we got Drew right behind them. But yeah, I can't figure it out either.
My methodology has been very, very simple. I look at the goals allowed, look at goals against, allow for about 2/3 of a goal for a home team, and round up or down depending on whether those teams have momentum. I don't have the expertise that you guys have from having followed the game for a lifetime. I didn't grow up on soccer. I'm picking it up here in my 40s. So it's a little bit more math oriented with a little bit of momentum and gut thrown in, and a lot of I went with low scores, and that allowed me to win in June, pick up a lot of points. But there's been a lot more as the summer's gotten hotter, the offense has gone up and the defense has gone down. So
yeah, and I probably, as the season wears on, I think it'll probably tick back down kind of towards the latter part of the season as teams sort of get tighter and are fighting for playoff position. But yeah, probably this month and moving forward, you probably expect a lot of goals in the league, and it's one of the more high scoring leagues in general. So I know in addition, so I know you follow like lots of different stuff happening kind of in the soccer world. So anything fun or interesting that you're following right now?
Well, in terms of the things that you tend to cover in your show, I will tell you geographically, because while I bill myself as being on Sodor, my wife and daughter would tell you that we live in Kentucky, where my wife is from and is a media fundraiser. So geographically, by default, I'm kind of an FC Cincinnati fan. Last year that was lots of fun.
Not so much this year.
Yeah, this year, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but they've got a goalkeeper who's in his 30s from Poland. I would say his name's Triton is what it looks like, or Titan. There's no R. They've given up 45 goals on the year, probably 20% more than any other team, and it has just been brutal. It's like, hey, Deportivo La Coruña, thanks for the free transfer. You can have him back. We'll get the kid on loan at Louisville FC. The German guy, a fellow named Lunt. Although, actually, come to think of it, for as far as playoff bound championship teams go, they're allowing a lot of goals too. So maybe that's not the best idea. But then I've also been following my Premier League team. I sort of default went with AFC Bournemouth, despite the fact that they've spent most of their history bouncing between League 3 and League 4, following their stuff, following their signings. I'm glad to see that they made a couple of young but big for them cost-wise moves. They made 2 defensive signings in the offseason, got a kid from Luton, an Irish kid in his early 20s, and then something here in my notes. Jack Stacey's the one from Luton Town. They got him on a 4-year deal, and then Lloyd Kelly from Bristol City. And given how the back end and the goalkeeping, everything fell apart last season for them in Premier League, I'm glad to see them focusing more on that end as far as new signings. And he just signed Callum Wilson to 4 more years. So
he's been really good for them.
I think the offense will still be Good. I realize you probably don't get a lot of AFC Bournemouth talk, but that's what I bring to the table, David. Pink tie and AFC Bournemouth. You're welcome.
I love it. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I feel like Christian, who usually dresses down for the quick kick picks, and I feel like you're me. So I feel out of my element a little bit here.
You are a young and handsome and vibrant man. Don't you go changing for me, David.
All right, fair enough. I think so. I definitely want to get back to the soccer conversation, but before we do that, I think Drew Drew from our Slack channel would be very upset with me if we didn't at least touch on your Scrabble fandom. So you're a huge sort of Scrabble fan. So I have to ask, his question from our Slack channel: what's your greatest Scrabble accomplishment?
Yes, I thought I might get a chance to turn this into BTS Bros Talking Scrabble. There is an organization out there, the National Scrabble, North American Scrabble Players Association now. It's changed names, but yeah, that's whereas you guys are big soccer guys and that's what you do competitively. I'm old and out of shape, and so I've been playing Scrabble for 15 years. And I don't know, my greatest accomplishment, I finished in the top 10 in a Division II at the Nationals a few years ago. I guess would be number one, either that or I beat a guy named David Gibson. I've played him 11 times. He's won the U.S. Nationals basically, 2 or 3 times now, and I beat him once. I get to see him at regional tournaments. So
that's definitely an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get old and decrepit like me, and soccer has lost its luster for you, come to the dark side and play tournament Scrabble with old men and ladies.
All right, I will consider it. I'm not making a promise, but I will consider it there. Anything else you wanted to touch on before I ask my final questions here?
Well, just a couple quick things. I don't know how much time we have left, but given that this is Quick Kick Picks and that I've been a fan and participating to varying degrees for a long time, first of all, thanks for enduring having me on a second time. I know I kind of bring some oft unvisited and touched on things in the soccer world, both on my site and to your broadcast when I'm on. But folks, you can, win the Quick Kick Picks. So far, there's only probably really 10 people in the standings. If you've got far more relevant things about soccer to talk about than I tend to, jump on board. You might even be able to make a miracle comeback for July. It's an ongoing thing. It's one of the things that sets Bros Talking Soccer apart, because they've also got the Dave, you can tell them about the Slack channel.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying all this. I mean, you certainly didn't have to, so I appreciate that. But yeah, we have a Slack channel where we're talking with all kinds of soccer fans. So Noob's very active on there. We have probably 5 or 6, close to 10 of us that are really active on there. I think we have over 40 members in general that'll pop in and out every so often. And we talk about just anything kind of happening in the soccer world. And then also we have a general channel where you can chat about whatever. But it's just a fun sort of community aspect to everything that we're doing here, because a podcast isn't always sort of interactive. It's just, listeners listening. And, we love interacting with everybody. So the Slack channel is a cool way for us to do that.
And then I believe, and perhaps you talked about it on the podcast proper, if you will, a new opportunity for people to get involved with small and medium-sized content creators that they're using. Have you gotten a chance to talk about Buy Me a Coffee?
Yeah, so we haven't we're recording this before we do our podcast proper, but I imagine we're talking about that on the podcast tonight. So anyone out there who's maybe watching the video, or if we're putting this in before we talk about it on the podcast, Buy Me a Coffee is just a way that we are going to allow people to support what we're doing here. I have a ton of fun doing this, but at the end of the day, it costs money, equipment, server costs, podcast hosting, and all of that. I mean, it costs a decent amount of money, and I'm fortunate to be able to afford that, from support of my lovely wife, but we would like the podcast to kind of at least support itself. And so we're going to be offering this new thing where you could, quote, buy us a coffee. You're not actually buying us a coffee, but we'll allow you to pay, I think we haven't worked out the exact numbers, but it'll be something like $3. You can buy 1 cup, you can buy 5 cups. It's not ongoing. So if you're feeling like very generous today, you want to buy 2 cups, and then 6 months from now, you want to buy some more cups, that would be awesome. And it's just a way to help support us. So, I
would like to give you your first chance if we have time to earn a few.
Yes, of course. Yes.
It's not quite a gratuity, because I'm going to make you earn them. And yes, Dave had some advanced knowledge of this, but not enough that he's researched it. I told him I wanted to hit him with some rapid fire questions on something. I have been following the AFCON tournament in Africa, all the national teams vying for their annual championship. and have been following in particular Madagascar because I love parody. I love seeing up and coming teams doing great, and so I thought, why not hit Dave with some trivia questions about the miracle run of the Malagasy players?
Okay. All right. Let's try it.
All right. Some will be easy, some will not. Let's see. In what round did Madagascar lose?
So I want to say the quarterfinals, but I'm not sure.
Dave has just earned his first cup of coffee.
Oh, all right.
They lost in the quarterfinals after getting to the knockout stage. So they won one game there. Okay, here's another one. How many times previously has Madagascar ever qualified for AFCON?
Isn't this their first time?
This is their first time.
All right.
They were 0 for 49. Now, I don't know
goodness.
if they tried 49 times. There have been years where they have simply not participated in qualifying events, but they have tried a lot and not gotten in. Let's see here. Can you name the coach of the Madagascar team?
Nope.
Okay. I will tell you that he is from. France. There's a big pipeline between players, and even now some coaching between Madagascar and France specifically. Can you name either of the fourth level French teams that their current coach Nicolas Dupuis, if I'm saying it right, if you can name either of the two teams that either coached when he took the job or the team that he's coaching right now simultaneously while coaching in Madagascar, I'll give you a point.
Oh man, I feel like I heard this on a podcast, and so I definitely have heard this mentioned offhandedly.
You've got to know champion. If you're not covering Championat, 2, I don't know what you're doing online, man.
No, I want to say I don't know, Red Paris. Isn't that like a lower level team? I don't know. So that's what I'll say.
I don't think they're fourth. I think they climbed up into the second level a year
Okay.
or two ago. They were in the third level when I started. No, he is with Moulins Izura, or he was, and now he is with FC Fleury, which is a lot easier to say.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Can you name the top goal scorer of the tournament? He's gotten 2 goals for the Madagascar men's national team.
No, I have no.
Okay.
I can't even.
If I tell you he's from an Asian league, you want to take a crack at what? He's in an Asian top flight league. What league he's from?
I'll say the Korean league.
You're so close. Carolus Andrea Matsunoro, who is Malagasy born, is with a Saudi Arabian pro league club that just finished third last year in the second division. I'm telling you, I bring the most relevant things in the soccer world.
How was Korea close to Saudi Arabia?
I may have been using that word not literally, liberally.
Got it.
So no point there. Can you tell me? Let's see. Out of 54 teams in Asia, where do you think that FIFA ranks their national team?
Who? Madagascar?
Madagascar.
In Africa, you mean?
Or Africa? What did I say? Asia.
You said, no. So I was just making sure I wasn't getting confused. Where does
54 teams? Where are they ranked? I'll give you a berth of 2 to either side.
Okay, I will say 38.
Oh, they are actually better than you think. They are 25th. There's a lot of teams out there like Somalia and Djibouti that don't try to get in either. All right, one more shot.
Okay, last one here.
Give you a wider berth. Where do you think they're ranked overall in FIFA?
Madagascar, I would say. So if they were, you said 25th in Africa? So I'll say 111th.
Wow, I gave you a berth of 3 and you just snuck it in. It's another cup of coffee for Bros Talking Soccer. They are currently, as of June anyway, they are ranked 108th.
Holy hell. I got to
finals. That's going to go up.
I am pretty damn proud of myself. That is a complete shot in the dark. So,
do you have any scarves? I see in the back. Do you have anything from Madagascar?
I do not have any Madagascar scarves. Yeah, These are from my travels, so I have not been there yet.
Now, one more question, then I'll let you off the hook for this.
Okay.
For the final, Tunisia and Senegal, Africa's top 2 teams are going to be playing, and one of your favorites plays for one of the teams. A Liverpool guy is a big star. Who am I talking about?
Sadio Mane?
Yes, and who does he play for?
He plays for Senegal. And wait, isn't it Algeria?
I wanted to give you a couple of comparative softballs there.
It's Algeria, Senegal in the final, correct? Or no? Is it Tunisia?
No, Tunisia. It's the top.
Okay. All right. I had that wrong. I haven't been following that tournament as closely. All right.
A lot of people didn't because Egypt lost fairly, didn't advance very far and it's being hosted there. So
yeah, mine was just, there was way too much going on. I followed the World Cup a ton, so podcast listeners will know that. And then just with the Gold Cup and all of that, I just couldn't keep track and I needed a little break after everything.
One more, by the way, since I've got the suit on, I dressed up for the quick kick picks.
Looking good.
Shot at one more and try to answer the question of whether or not I'm wearing pants.
Oh,
pass on that opportunity.
We'll pass on that opportunity. I will say that I do not wear the full suit either when I record the quick kick picks. Usually I am wearing shorts though. So, but we'll leave it up to everyone's imagination. All right. Yeah, Matthew, Soccernoob, thank you so much for being here. Real quick, just before we get out of here, we're right at kind of 20 minutes are here, but I wanted to give you the opportunity. What's the thing you're most excited about happening in your soccer world before we get out of here?
In my soccer world, I have a coworker at my new place of business who is from Nepal, and I am adopting his team. I'm going to say it wrong. Manang Marshiangdi. They are from they are the highest altitude probably soccer team out there in the world. The last time that the Nepal Martyrs National Division A ran, it was 5 years ago. So he's a young guy and he's really excited. This coworker of mine that they're finally getting another chance to defend their title. Their league is up and running again with 10 or 11 teams. So I've got a new team to root for, and if you don't decide to go for a Malagasy Sarv, maybe we can try to hook you up with one from Manang Marshiangdi, and soon you two will be singing Marshiangdi Forever, their supporter song.
All right, there we go. And just to clarify, it is Senegal, Algeria in the AFCON final. We confirmed that on here. So I thought I read that right, but
I am noob again.
It's all right.
It was in the final.
It's all right. But no worries. Thank you so much for being here. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Don't forget to play our quick kick picks. You're going to hear probably a little bit of music and we'll go back to the rest of the podcast. But yeah, thank you, Matthew. All right, people who are watching live on YouTube, this will ultimately get cut from the podcast, but Drew and Sal stopped by Matthew, so I wanted to let you know. Drew was very excited about your Bournemouth mention, and Sal was mentioning that the funk is real for us struggling in the quick kick picks. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. Sal, I will DM you about joining our Slack channel. I didn't realize you didn't know about that, but we'll get you in there. And we'll talk to you soon. See you, everybody.